Ruben Amorim has admitted it. He is now focusing on the Europa League. In the past, he didn't say about focusing on the Europa League. He was saying about doing what he can, but he is now actively prioritizing the Europa League, which means this is a huge chance for youngsters in the Premier League. Ruben Amorim even says they will be getting minutes, but which youngsters could that be? Who could be getting debuts? Amas and Cheetah, of course, expected minutes. Aiden Heaven will when he's returned from injury, but who else could be getting a debut and some involvements? We'll dive into that. We've been linked to Semenyo, Dibbling and Inacio today. Amorim speaks on Cunha. We've got some updates on Lindelof and Mazraoui. They should be available for the next game, despite having to leave at halftime. Links to young midfielder like Rodrigo Mora, more of an attacking midfielder, and more. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news and roundup show, where we round up all the latest Manchester United news in 10 minutes for you guys, starting with news on the youth. Ruben Amorim. We have to focus. We have to take a risk with the kids in the Premier League. We have to focus on the Europa League. Ruben Amorim has said, look, we're going to give the kids a chance. We got to take the risk. And I'll tell you something about Ruben Amorim. The reason he wasn't giving the kids a chance earlier on is because he's made it clear he doesn't want to throw academy players into an unstable environment, knock their confidence because they're not doing well, because they're not playing with the most stable team. He doesn't want to do that. But he's a manager that very much likes to give academy players a chance. You know, Amas been given a big chance there. You know, he does. He just likes to try and throw it in when he thinks the time is right, the environment is right. And he's shown at Sporting he likes to give youngsters a chance. And I think for the Man United Academy, particularly certain players like Mantato that really suit the system, maybe a Morehouse, maybe a Shea Lacey if he can stay fit, having someone like Amorim is really, really exciting, because while Tenor brought through Maino and Garnacho, and while we always have a history of bringing through youngsters at United, Amorim is particularly a manager that likes to do that. So I'm going to dive into reports from last month about youngsters that are most likely to get a debut, because I thought it kind of linked to this news. I remember the Muppeteers said last month, and they've got information from inside the club, pretty reliable, that Bentito Mantato is extremely highly rated by Manchester United and very much could be in the frame to be pushed forward into the first team before the season ends. Now, the interesting thing about Bentito Mantato is he can play left wing, right wing, left back, right back. He's probably perfect for that right wing back role, very much more attacking than defensive. You know, he really likes to drive at people, make things happen. I think he's such an exciting player, and he's been really good. He had a little bit of an injury, which is why people weren't speaking about him as much lately, but he was obviously involved in today's game. And I tell you what, the academy made a good comeback today as well, versus Derby County. He scored the goal to make it 2-1 after being 2-0 down, and Musa actually won the game at the last minute. But United got a big win over Derby County. And obviously, Mantato was involved in that game playing as a right winger. He's someone that's highly rated and expected to get minutes, particularly at right wing back. So maybe we can rest Dalot. Dalot was really good yesterday. We've been criticising Dalot a bit on this channel, but he was really good yesterday. Credit where it's due. And I think his last 6 games, if you take out Newcastle, he's been pretty good for us. Continuing on, Manchester United Academy 91 said this: Ruben Amorim holds Jack Fletcher and Jack Morehouse in high regard. While it doesn't guarantee they'll see playing time before the end of the season, definitely keep an eye on those two. Both made strong impressions in youth matches and have earned spots in matchday squads. Morehouse, I really wanted him to come on, but it worked out. He didn't come on and we won the game, so that's all that matters. But I think Morehouse could get minutes, particularly with him being such a good ball carrier, and Man United lacking ball carriers, and Amorim wanting his 10s to be ball carriers. I've seen a lot of people put Morehouse in the pivot in their predicted lineups, like it is in the Bruno role, the Casemiro Garcia role. But I think Morehouse is more of a 10. Maybe that's just me from what I've watched. I don't watch every academy game, but I look at the Southampton game, that win, which actually Ruben Amorim himself watched. And I think with his ball carrying abilities, I think Jack Morehouse is very much a number 10 in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. I think he's more of a number 10, but he could also play deeper. I think he's a very good ball carrier, and I think he's quite physically above a lot of people. The reason he's been set back a bit is due to injuries. And then obviously Jack Fletcher is fantastic talent. The Fletcher twins are both fantastic talents. Jack Fletcher, due to Tyler Fletcher picking up injuries, is a bit further ahead. They've been in the match they scored, and they could definitely get debuts. I don't see them starting, but 10 minutes here and there. Harry Amas might start. I don't see them starting until they've come off the bench, but exciting. The Muppeteers also said there are potentially some young players that could make it into the first team before the end of the season, specifically guys like Jack Fletcher. A lot of people do ask me about Sekou Kone, but I think they want to give him another year. This first season is about adapting in England. He's not lived in England before. You look at Garnacho's first season in the academy, second season was breakout season. They're just trying to, I think, mould him in. And obviously, Cheeto was another one. Now, what Ruben Aaron did say on youth, and this is what he said before, is this: it's not the best moment or the best season to put some of the kids into play again because they need a strong base to show what they can do. But in this moment, we need to do it. And sometimes you have surprises. He's basically saying we need to unleash youth. We need the youngsters. He doesn't always like throwing them in when the team isn't stable, when he needs the environment for them. And it's not always a good thing. But right now, we're in a situation where we don't have many fit first team players. The youth is exciting. We have a good academy. You know, you look at Chelsea played Warsaw yesterday in the Europa League. They lost 2-1. And Maxi Olelei, who was doing quite well on us for pre-season, that we sold for about 800k, you know, was playing really well. And I think if we'd loaned him out, we'd have been worth maybe 10 million now, how well he's doing over in Warsaw. You know, the academy talent we've got is good. You know, James Garner, Dean Henderson probably walking to our first team, Alanga even right now. I think obviously it's an environment we have to be patient with them. They're not going to be ready-made. But I do think, you know, we need to start using that pool of talent more. He did say on Cheeto when he played quite well. It's a difficult moment. It's not the right moment for kids to play, but if we have to do it, we will do it. And he thinks Obi will get more minutes. Interestingly, he made comments in the past saying he does not want to bring youngsters into like bad environments for their development. Hence why I think he waited till we're 3-0 versus Leicester to give Ahmad and Cheeto those good 30 minutes. But sort of right now, he's sort of saying we probably have to. We're going to do it. We're going to play the kids. So they're the youngsters that could be involved. I do want to dive into transfer news. According to links in Portugal, we're interested in Inacio. Romano linked us to Inacio last summer. Romano, a very credible journalist. We know that last summer we were watching Inacio. We got Delict and we got Euro. But we know that United, with Leacher being out to Christmas, do want a left-footed centre-back despite bringing in Aiden Heaven. Well, actually, I don't know if it's specifically left-footed now. It's someone that's a wide centre-back. Delict and Maguire are central centre-backs. Euro could be central centre-back. But they want another centre-back for depth. Lindelof's going to go. Evans is going to go. Maguire is aging and he's picked up injuries. Delict's picked up his first proper injury of the season, but he was very injury prone at Bayern. Euro's picked up injuries. Heaven's picked up injuries. United want another centre back for depth. You know, you can't rely on Luke Shaw, and he wasn't great, although that's his first game back in a while. And Inacio could be one to watch. I think it depends on the price. I like him. He's very similar to Leacher, but I do think there's better options out there. But I think it could be a good option in terms of what Ruben Amorim will want. I think that's one to watch. We are looking at centre back. Sky Sports have linked us to Semenyo. I'm a massive fan of Semenyo. I think he'd be a great addition until I see the 65, 70 million price tag. And I say we're doing Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Anthony all over again. What Liverpool do, would they walk away? Liverpool wants Semenyo. It gets over 40 million. They'd walk away. They'd go get someone else. You know, what Man United will do is, oh, here you go, 70 million for Semenyo. Semenyo is great, but he's not better than Mbeumo, and he's not better than Cunha. And Cunha's 60 million, and Mbeumo's 60 million. We're not paying 70 million for Semenyo when he's not as good, and he's a bit more inconsistent. I think he's a great player. He can play wing back, he can play 10. I think he's brilliant. But yeah, what Spy's saying, potentially he could be 70 million. Bournemouth will not give up on him easy. Bournemouth are going to lose Højlund and Kirkes, so they're rightly so to put a ridiculous price on Semenyo. Sky Sports did say, however, the structure of the deal remains undefined and could include lower fixed fee and add-ons similar to the deal for Solanke. I like Semenyo. If it's £40 million, absolutely do it. But if it's more than £40 million, it depends on the structure, depends how desperate we are. Anything above 50 million, I wouldn't do. Same with Tyler Dibbling. I wouldn't pay more than 40 million for Tyler Dibbling. I think he's great, but I think he's for the future. I think we need ready-made now on attack. It's not worth spending more than 35 million on a player that isn't quite ready now, and we have to be patient with, because we've got to be patient with Garnacho. We've got to be patient with Højlund. I don't want to be patient with another player. We want someone for now. It was said by Mark Ogden that Man United will step up their interest in Southampton midfielder Dibbling if Ruben Amorim's team can secure Champions League qualification by winning the Europa League. Which is interesting. I think if we win the Europa League, we just have funds to do more in the window. I think if you get Cunha and you get Osimhen and you get Dibbling, that's an unbelievable window. But if you get Dibbling at Delap, and I like Delap and I like Dibbling, but I think, oh, that's not the experience we need. That's two relegated players. You know, that's not the experience we need to take us up that level, if you get what I'm saying. I did think this, and this was just a thought. Let me get this up here. Semenyo and Dibbling link suggest to me United could be looking at a player that could play right 10 and right wing back rather than an out-and-out 10 and rather than an out-and-out wing back. Maybe someone like Ahmad that could play 10, could play wing back. They could rotate with Ahmad rather than bringing in an actual wing back, because obviously Mantato ticks that box as well. You know, some sources say right wing back is quite high up on our list. Other sources say it's not. We know that striker 10 and centre mid that can progress the ball, the three main. We know we're interested in the centre back, right wing back, and goalkeeper, but we don't know where they are on the list of priorities compared to the other three. There's 6 positions we're looking at. We might only have to pick 4. Maybe if we get Champions League, we could go for all 6. It'd be interesting to see like where United's priorities lay. We were also linked to Tyler Dibbling the day before this report came out from United Frenzy. They spoke about Woolcox being a fan of him, also looking at Chris Rigg and Rodrigo Mora. We did a video on Rodrigo Moura the other day, probably last week actually. A very, very talented 17-year-old, but could be ridiculous, but unbelievable. Ruben Amorim then in his press conference today was asked about the Wolves game, and this is what he said. They have players with real quality like Cunha and the rest of them in their squad. It will be a tough match. I like the fact that he names Cunha. The player we've been linked to, he particularly names. Even though he's been out for a little bit, Aït-Nour is good, João Gomez is good, Strand Larsen's been in some decent form. But he picks out Cunha because he likes Cunha. He wants Cunha. Like, that is the truth of the matter. And last but not least, he did speak about Lindelof and Mazraoui. He said they sort of had some personal issues, so they had to go at half-time, which, that worries me. You would have got half-time in a big game, so hopefully everything's all right with those two. But he said everything is okay now, and I know football's important, but there are things that are more important. So something must have happened. I think people are saying burglary, but that's not been confirmed. So hope that nothing is wrong with Mazraoui, Lindelof, and their families, but they will be ready to face Wolves, which is good for that rotation. Thank you for watching today's 10-minute roundup. See you next time. Bye.